Good evening, this is Brian from buddy-baker.website network, and I am in the throes of testing my live streaming ability. This here is Tuesday, May 5th, 2020 at approximately 5:35 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Today, just to test out the live stream, I've done several of these. I'm trying to get used to the way this is done. I may have to install other software to maintain what I need to maintain. But I figured I'd give you guys an update on BBUS and where I stand. As most of you are aware, we are in the midst of a COVID-19 outbreak, and we are in a stay home, stay safe order that will expire on May 15th, 2020. As of this date, I don't know if that is going to be extended. However, based on my health status with my immunocompromisation, I don't believe that it would be a wise decision for me to be going out and mingling in the public. However, I probably will be taking a ride or two tomorrow to get some air, so that's a good thing. As far as my websites are going, I have the .com, the .us, the .org, and the .info. We have all of those domains now. We own those. The .us and the .com and the .org are functioning normally with updates being applied. The .info is being held for a person who wishes to provide a domain for his business. And so that one is on hold, but as we get going, we have been making changes to each of the websites and the domains. We have been making updates to the software and to the plugins and all that. We've had a few glitches with the .com and the .us website because of permissions. We believe we have those straightened out. As far as the .com side, the Trinity Community Thrift Store is closed due to COVID-19, as well as the Trinity United Methodist Church. And we believe that it will remain closed for the foreseeable future until we are clear of whatever this is. I can tell you from experience that I prefer to err on the side of caution and be very deliberate and very slow in trying to reopen things. And if worse comes to worse, we will continue to maintain a closed state until we are able to determine whether it is safe to proceed and be able to serve the public again. This will be determined by the governor and the powers that be at Trinity. As far as my health goes, I am doing well. I am in the process of doing home therapy, as well as for my legs, as for my breathing. I was unaware that a physical therapist could actually do that for you. So it's been pretty awesome. I was able to talk to the doctor a couple weeks ago via Zoom. We were able to discuss how I feel and whatnot. He was able to give me several recommendations, which I'm putting into place. I also have the proper medicines that I need, so that is helpful. And as of now, I am just waiting it out, just like everybody else. And we will probably be awaiting what's going on as time proceeds. As I said, I'm not in a hurry to go running back to work, and I will return to work as soon as I feel it is safe to do so. As far as I know, everything is working appropriately, and our websites are functioning normally. I have yet to schedule a full backup of the system yet for this month. However, what we should be doing is hopefully setting up a time each month where the system is backed up. We have several directories that are necessary for the operation of the server, and those should be updated every month. And so those will be done the way they should be. Once we get BBUS, Cardinal BBUS, up to speed, and we get him backed up so that we have the proper files and whatnot, we'll prune out everything that we don't need, and we will keep what we do need. Then we should be able to update websites and do other things, whatnot. The .us website is my personal website, and that has my personal blog, and it also has my bulletin board. As of right now, we do have a functioning operating bulletin board. It is configured, but it is in a closed state, simply because we have to maintain security. And what's happening with my bulletin board is, as normal, is people are just signing on and signing up for accounts and leaving me with junk usernames, passwords, and emails that bounce all over Kingdom Come when they try to be activated. So what I try to do is go in there and try to clean out all that mess and try to ban everyone that comes in. However, we need a new type of system to be able to do that, and I need a plugin from the bulletin board folks to be able to do that so that I can quickly and efficiently take care of these stupid sign-ons that are just junk. There are certain, I know there are certain people who may be looking at my sites, and we are working on the .com, specifically the .com, because we need to update the information within it. We need to complete some of the things that we need in there. One of the things is there are several links on the bottom of the page that don't have anything to go to. So we need to create the content. In some cases, the content page is there. We just have to add the content, or we need to expand on the content. And there's other places where we just haven't created the content for those pages yet. We should be able to get those done within the next 2 or 3 months. I'm hoping that eventually, I would say by July or August of 2020, we should be back to some semblance of normal, whatever normal is. And I'm not sure what that will mean. However, I do want to be careful and not be worrying about getting sick. We have to be careful. And so that's what we'll do. We will do whatever we are asked to do. And that's the way that we will operate. We will do what we're told, and we will do what we need to do to make sure that we're safe. And so what I have been doing is I have been checking in with friends and family. I have been receiving phone calls from service providers to help me check in, and they check in with me to make sure I have what I need, including my landlord. They've been outstanding through this. And I just barely today got a new thermostat put in the bedroom that complements the electronic one that's in the bathroom, so I should be able to better control my heat without having to turn the lights on. And I'm feeling a lot better as far as my asthma goes. The medicines that I have been given are making a difference now that I understand what they are, what they're supposed to do, and how they interact with what's going on, and I've been taking them on a more regular basis. So now that I have all of the medicines that are necessary, I should be able to take care of this. People may want to know what I have been doing for the last 4 or 5 months. Most of the time between January and February, I had been dealing with being sick. And I just barely got over some of that cold, and then we got hit with COVID. So I have been I was in self-imposed lockdown for approximately 2 weeks, and then the doctor put me in a medical lockdown. So I've been doing what I'm supposed to do, and I've been feeling really well, and I've been talking to people and check in with people, and they've been checking in with me, making sure that I have food, making sure that I have whatever I need. My brother Michael has been here every day since day one, since it started. He's the only one that's been in here every day, other than in the last couple of 3 days, we've had other people coming in that have been protected with masks. I have been using my mask as necessary, and I will be getting a couple more. And as I said, I probably will take a ride tomorrow to get out of the house. And other than that, I have been watching videos, and I've been on the computer helping friends support, it's helping people online. And we've been dealing with God knows what. And, you know, we have, we have things that are changing on a daily basis. And I still firmly believe that God is in control and God will help us get through this time. There's no shame in doing what we need to do. A lot of different stuff that is happening. It is a little scary. Basically, what I do in order to make sure that I'm not getting sucked into this nonsense is I only listen to briefings once every couple days, and I'm only listening to either the New York staff or the New Hampshire governor or the Vermont governor. Everybody else is just political left, political right, or they're amping it up and making it sound worse than it actually is. We do have a COVID-19 outbreak. We do have to be careful, but we don't need to be scaring people or lying to people or making it worse. So what I try to do is I try to stay away from all that stuff. I'll listen to news approximately once a week, and the rest of the week I just turn the news off because it's just depressing, and it's also very negative, and we need to be able to think positive. I believe that the best way to do this is to remember that God is in control and God will help us through it. There are people who believe that that Donald Trump will get us through it. He may be able to do that, but I don't think that we're doing very good with stuff in the federal government. I think we need a lot more help as far as getting stuff done. And it's just political, so I try to stay away from that stuff. I want to stay healthy, and I have been doing that, and I've been doing what I've been told. So as long as I continue to do what I think is right, and I follow what my medical team says, I should be okay. There are people who that I follow on Twitter, and I do that on a regular basis, and I check in with some of my friends also that are on Twitter. So I feel very good. Should have no issues with what's going on. They know that we have an issue with whatever is going on, so we shouldn't have too much difficulty. Basically, what I'm going to be doing in the next few months is to be going through things and cleaning things up around here because we need to make it a little easier to do things. And I've been having little bits of trouble here and there, but we should be able to do that. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going through and getting rid of old papers and old files and things that I don't need. And what I'll do after that is I will also go through and I will be making changes to the domains. I will be making changes to the content of the domains to bring them into line. We will make sure we do a backup of BBUS. We will make sure that we back up any data that we need. We will make sure that we have all functioning websites. And one of the things that we have to do to make sure that that is something that we do is we have to make sure that our permissions are correct. 90% of the problems that I've noticed over the last 6 months have been dealing with incorrectly set groups or users or permissions, which means that you either can read, write, or execute files, and in some cases, some of the files don't have the right permissions, they don't have the right groups, or they don't have the right owners. So you have to go in and set those permissions. Otherwise, your blogs and your sites can have trouble when they try to go out and they try to do updates. And what happens when that happens is you get a whole bunch of errors telling you that some sort of file can't be written to, or it can't be updated or whatever. So you have to physically go in and set all those permissions. One of the main things that I noticed on BBUS and my main personal site was that there were several directories where the username or the user, the group, and the permissions were set improperly, which means that the updates would error out and cause major problems. So what you have to do there is you have to log in and you have to change every single one of them recursively, which means it goes down the directory structure until you hit all of them. Once it did that, everything was fine and everything was what it was supposed to be. There are several times when we've had to totally restart or totally wipe the server, wipe the directory of all of the all the web files and then reinstall them, simply because there was some sort of a glitch with a plugin. And that is one thing that I've learned. You have to back up your websites, you have to back up your user data, and you have to make sure you're doing that on a regular basis, and you have to make sure that these things are backed up properly with the proper permissions, so that you're actually backing up everything the way it's supposed to be, with the proper set permissions. If you set the permissions once and you actually back them up with the permissions, the parent of the permissions of the parent directory should have no problem. So as far as our websites are concerned, all of our websites are functional. I have been working on .info and .com the most, because those are the ones that seem to need information to be added to them. On April 25th, I went in and updated the Trinity Community Thrift Store's Facebook page so that it had information on it that was an update for the current status of the thrift store. The thrift store is closed for the near future. I don't exactly know when that will reopen. I don't think that we will reopen again in 2020. However, that can change based on what we have for information that comes from the pastor of the church or from the trustees, and whatever they decide to do as far as COVID-19 readiness. We have been doing stuff with Zoom, been doing stuff online and stuff. So we've been able to go to YouTube and be able to see the live service as Pastor Yumke does it. I'm really impressed with the way they've been doing it, and I'm enjoying it. I enjoy it. So I hope that what will happen is that the church will continue to do that, and hopefully one of these days I will be able to join in with some of my friends and do that. I've been extremely lucky that I have a good staff of volunteers, and they've been kicking butt, taking care of things down there. And while we are in a closed state, I do have people checking in with me, making sure that we have what we need, making sure that things are done the way they're supposed to be. I know that we are not accepting donations right now. The reason is simple. It's because of the COVID-19 outbreak and because of the fact that we do not have enough staff to be able to be doing this on a regular basis. And not only that, but the access to the church is severely limited because of COVID-19. So we have not been, and we will continue not to be accepting any donations whatsoever until we are clear of this pandemic. I know it's a pain in the neck. I know it can be a pain in the butt, but we have to make sure that we do it the right way. And I don't feel that we need to be putting people at risk. We have as I said, we have good people that work with us, and we don't want to hurt them. We don't want to make them sick, and we don't want to cause them any problem. I did get a chance to look at the page the other day on the 25th of April. There were several pages that were added, and then they were linked to the Facebook page. And if you are of a mind, you can go to our thrift store page at use @Trinity Thrift Store. That's all one word. TRINITY Trinity Thrift Store VT, and that will get you to the thrift store's Facebook page, which will have current announcements and things that we're doing and everything else. And one of the things I did on the 25th was to add information regarding our status and stuff like that. And most of the stuff that we were adding was current at the time it was added. I think it was on 3/13, which is March 13th or 14th or something like that. And what happened is that the church keeps an accurate, updated thing of what they're doing at the church, and what's open and what isn't, and hours and stuff. So what we basically did was we linked to that page so people could see it, and we also linked to status pages, events pages, open close status, and things like that. And we posted an update on 425 to let people know what it was. And we also when we did that, we also removed any older information that was in there, and we told people that the information that we added on the 25th of April superseded any information. As of this point, the thrift store remains closed. We are not accepting phone calls. We are not checking for messages, and I cannot do anything about any requests for clothing or assistance because of COVID-19. And I'm not sure at what point I'll be able to do that, or what the COVID-19 thing will do. But I do know that the health of my volunteers as well as myself remains paramount. We want to make sure that people are safe. We want to make sure that people are doing what they're supposed to do, and that's the way we do it. But as far as BBUS is concerned, in the server has been functioning properly. It's been functioning normally. I don't have any problem with anything going on. We have been online without restart for approximately, let's see, we have been online for 40 days, 1 hour, 25 minutes as of the recording of this. So we have been pretty solid. Had a couple of times when we had issues with server and we had to restart it, or we've had problems with the network. These are few and far between because we have a pretty solid connection here. And I think I only have to reset once every 3 months. And usually what that means is I just unplug everything. And then, I unplug the router and the modem, and then I plug the modem back in and let that sync up. And then after a while, I plug the router back in, and we're back in business. So basically, the BBUS is functioning. It is online and it is available. So you can now visit us at HTTP or HTTPS. I think all of our sites now respond to HTTPS, which is the secure web protocol. All websites should be using HTTPS if they are not. And what I try to do is I try to keep that TLS, I think it's 1.2 or 2.0, whatever it is, up to date, because that protects us and makes it encrypted a little bit. And most of the stuff that we do on BBUS is encrypted anyway, so that should help us with that. So we should be pretty well set as far as BBUS. I just wanted to let you know that I've ordered a couple of things to help us in the future. I want to be able to do more stuff like this. This is the first time I've been able to live stream with a halfway decent camera. So what I want to do is I want to be able to do video, do do stuff with live streaming. I also like to be able to take pictures, videos, and stuff like that. Be able to do things on the outside. So if I go somewhere, I'd like to be able to take pictures. And what I've done is um, I've ordered the ASDOM, AUSDOM 1080p web camera, and that is now attached to the top of Thresh's monitor, and that's what I'm broadcasting to you with, so that I can do these live streams. I've also done this because I might want to be able to do a live stream or a Zoom meeting on my primary monitor, and that way I can have, I believe, a maximum of 9 people on the screen all at once and be able to have halfway decent connection. So that was one of the things I did. I did that as part of my birthday. I decided I was going to splurge a little bit. So I decided that I was going to buy a brand new web camera to replace ones that were several years old and probably not worth 2 cents. So this one will allow me to at least be able to do YouTube live streaming. I've also invested in the GoPro Hero 8 Black, which is a camera that will allow me to, it's a GoPro camera, so I will be able to do I will be able to do videos and stuff like that where I'm actually taking video and be able to hopefully put that on YouTube, or be able to at least take a video while I'm if I have all the necessary equipment to be able to have it on my head. I should be able to drive and be able to narrate while I'm driving, or be able to at least have halfway decent, be able to do things outside, if it's a nice day, or if it's something that's really fun. I can take my GoPro camera, put it on my head, and drive out of here. Be able to do that. This is something that I really wanted to do, because if you have the right equipment with a GoPro, the camera is really cool. It allows you to do a lot of things, and it should be able to give me the ability to do outside stuff. Also, a GoPro camera is very small, and I won't have to. There's an advantage to each. One of the advantages of this camera, which is the ASDOM camera, is I can at least do live streaming. The microphone itself may not be the best microphone, or I might have to increase the volume, because I noticed that I'm a little muffled. But at least the picture is halfway decent, and I may have to adjust the lighting a little bit, but at least I'm able to live stream. That's one of the pros of this camera. The other pro is the fact that it attaches to the top of the monitor, so I don't have to be messing around with it as much, and I'm able to immediately go into YouTube Studio and be able to do this. So it's not too hard to do. I have to figure out how to do certain stuff, so that shouldn't be a problem. And as long as I don't run anything in the background that's against the rules, I shouldn't get any strikes or any violations. And if I do, then I'll be able to say, well, what did I do? So I won't have that problem. The advantage of having a GoPro is, the GoPro is small, and you can attach it to any whole host of pieces of equipment, such as a chest harness or a head harness or whatever, so you can actually take pictures, moving video or whatever. You can attach that to a bike helmet. You can attach it to a motorcycle helmet on a mount. You can attach it to a spike mount, so you can put it somewhere so you can actually get good picture or good video. So that's a good thing. So I like the idea that it's portable. I like the fact that I can put it on a helmet or on a hat or in a harness or a headgear or whatever, so you can use it. Also like the fact that it's very easy to to use. It looks like it's pretty simple. I have a couple extra batteries for this thing, so I should, when I get this new camera, I will have 3 batteries, and I will have the ability to be able to take video doing whatever. Could be, and maybe in the spring or in the fall, I may be able to go different places and just take my GoPro with me, so I can go different places and take pictures and enjoy things. And one of the things I look forward to with a GoPro is that it can take the video, and then I can come back and I can edit it. One of the problems with my Sony DHC 400, it's a very nice camera. It has the tripod mount. It has all the hardware that I need. I have a good tripod for it. The only problem with that type of a mount is that I can't do a live stream like I'm doing now, so that I would have to set up the camera. I have to set up my power strips. I have to set up my extension cords. I have to set up the lighting, and I have to make sure that my camera is pointed in the right direction and I don't knock it over. Then I have to step in front of the camera, do what I do, and then I have to stop, and then I have to go through and look at it, and then I have to upload it, which takes forever to do on a regular upload. And with this type of a setup where you can do the live streaming like I'm doing now for the last 31 minutes and 30 seconds, at least I can do this, and I don't have to sit there and wait for the thing to upload. It will automatically upload. There shouldn't be an issue. So that's a good thing. I will still use my camera for close-up stuff, and I'll be using my camera to take pictures and videos and whatnot, and I should be able to go Facebook Live and be able to do whatever's going on. So I just, this is a good test for us to be able to see if this will work right, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to do a Facebook Live, see how this is done, and we'll be able to put that up there so people can see that I'm around. So I just wanted to I want to thank everybody for everything they've done to help me over the past 2 or 3 months, and all my friends, family, volunteers, people that are close to me, doing what they do. Keep doing what you do. Keep it safe, and we'll see you on the flip side. This is Brian from buddy-baker.us and the other associated sites, signing out. Peace.